Let's do it. Episode 280 of the Current Gen podcast. We finally have the full roster back in effect, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tim, Dan, and Kyle back at it. Welcome back. Kyle, good to see you. Whatever. I see you all the time. Dan,
Yeah, right.
welcome back, dude. It's so good to have you back.
Thank you, fellas.
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping the ship afloat. That it didn't sink. Nothing happened. Nothing caught on fire. Especially Tim,
Nobody's
who went
canceled
Bill
yet.
Burr style.
He did. He went solo
Bill
for
Burr style that one episode. Yeah,
it's nuts. I would have been so wound up about that.
I'd be like,
I try to tell him thank you for that. Yeah,
and start having a conversation myself. Sound like a crazy person.
It would just
I did do that.
crying, during the whole podcast. I don't know what's going on. I need somebody here.
Yeah, if it were a normal episode of just talking about news, I don't know what I would have done. But thankfully, I just got to watch videos and react to it. So that made it easier, to kind of just go through.
Yeah, that's fun.
That made it easy.
Fun. But yeah, thank you guys for that. But
of course, man, we're glad you're back.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's been a stressful and anxiety-inducing a month and a half. Speaking of anxiety, I have that now. That's a thing I have, and it sucks. Super sucks. So I just wanted to kind of share in case anybody is curious that's listening, because I know I've been chatting with you guys, which, thank you for just being like good, solid friends, because like Kyle said, suffering in silence, that's definitely a thing. And I think sometimes people feel like they're maybe annoying people or they're a burden, kind of like anything in between with that sort of thing when they're going through something, especially mental health problems. For guys, we're supposed to just bottle it up. We're supposed to just be tough guys and bottle this shit up. And it's like, well, that's stupid. Like, can we stop doing that, please?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to share with everybody. And actually, before I do that, because a while back I wanted to. So someone in my Discord actually listens to our show, and like a while ago was just like, "Hey, you guys are great. Like, thanks for the episodes." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." But I kind of like forgot to mention it to you guys. So like Viper,
that's awesome.
That's cool.
If you are listening to this, thank you, Viper. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here and listening.
That.
We'll start subtly mentioning your name now, since we
Gaston and Viper.
Yeah, Gaston.
We need to know the few things that are like their weakness that they can't help but talk about,
Sure.
and like we do it, and then we'll know when to sprinkle that in.
Yeah. Viper, let us know what your weaknesses are. What makes you tick?
Yeah.
But yeah, so a little over a month ago, I had a panic attack. I was actually about to start streaming, and then something felt off. I was just like, I don't know what this is. Like, something feels off. And then I went in the living room and like basically almost passed out because like everything in my body was just like, something's wrong. And I had like these cold chills and freaking like my breathing was all off. And like basically then I went to the ER because I thought something was wrong. And nothing was physically wrong. And nothing has been physically wrong. But I've been to the ER 4 times in a month because I kept thinking something was physically wrong with me. And basically all it was is just the physical sensations that you can get with anxiety. I don't know if everybody deals with those sensations. I don't know how it is for everyone. But I kept thinking, oh, something in my chest feels weird. I'm having a heart attack, or something in my head's off. Like my brain's exploding. Like it just wasn't, it wasn't pleasant.
Yeah, feel like heart attack. I feel like I hear that a lot. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I hear heart attack a lot for sure.
Like I know the arm, like your arm gets numb, and I know that's like a thing, and my arm wasn't numb, but
no, and you're not thinking about that
like,
when like you're in crisis mode. Like you're just like, what is it? Well, most men die from heart attacks. It's probably that, like that's that's probably where our heads go.
Yeah. So I basically now am on medication for it because it just kind of it hit me, and I guess I just don't have the tools to deal with it. It's still something that I'm learning, because it's not just like, oh well, then take medication and you're fine. Like there's definitely an element of like, I think I have a bit of OCD where like if I do mentally fixate on something, then I just kind of keep going, like even earlier today I felt a little bit like anxious because just some stuff in my Discord that I wanted to share with everybody. And I won't get into it really. That could be another time or something. But just, all the stresses in my life, thanks, just stuff from last year, family stuff, Renee having that surgery, The world is stressful. Just all sorts of things. I think just kind of culminated, a culmination of stress.
Yeah, that's how it happens. Yeah.
And yeah.
And it's not like that's being put on an empty plate, right? Like you have a full-time job, you've got a lot of hobbies, you have family and friends and responsibilities around your home, and you've got a lot that you have to do already. So your plate relatively full, if not overflowing for most people. And then you add on this added piece of like, oh great, now I have fear and nervousness about things I never thought of before, that could just kick in at any time. And so I can relate to that because I've also been through it, at times go through it myself, for various reasons. It just depends on the setting and the situation. And it can come out of nowhere, and I just love that you've given yourself time and space to work through it, talk through it. You've been very open about it, which I was not when I first started struggling with this stuff.
Same.
So I think,
which is why I encourage people to talk about it, because
totally, man, I think you're already on a really healthy track. Not that it's going to like, there's no silver bullet, but like, I just think you're on a really healthy track to being able to learn. You said that tool set, like, I think you're going to start to master some stuff that works for you much more quickly than I know that I did. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, identifying triggers and all that stuff, like I know that's like a hot topic word now that's been co-opted to something else. But in the psychology side of it, like the identifying triggers, like it's important realizing what are the things that you spiral about and what are the things, that get you kind of on that path or whatever. Like you'll be able to identify them from a mile away after just some time exposing yourself to identifying that stuff. So, just keep on keeping on. That's all we can do. And, and like I was telling you, and like we all tell each other, like you were just saying just now, like talk about it. Everybody who's listening out there, if you're stressed about something, like pull someone aside. I know you have someone in your life that would hear you talk about something for 5 to 10 minutes. I know you do.
Yep.
Everybody does. It's a parent or whatever, so talk about it.
Agreed.
Don't let it empower you.
I guess like trying to take a bad thing and spin it into a good thing, but I think why it's easy for me because as I got older, like kind of trying to be opposite of what I dealt with as a kid, like basically being bullied and like Tim, this is why I've never liked, when a certain someone would be very STFU and like literally say that. That actually really fucking pisses me off because like I don't like being told to shut up. I don't like anybody disrespecting someone
regardless
like that.
Regardless of the humor that's injected into it or whatever. It's like, dude, this,
because
yeah.
That was a lot of my childhood was literally like, well, I was an awkward kid. And I mean, I'm still kind of goofy and awkward and whatever, but like I'm an adult. So like I can handle it better. But as a kid, you can't. You just get bullied and treated like shit, which is what I dealt with. So I started regressing and kind of being more quiet and like putting up walls and like being afraid to like share anything. And then as I got older, those came down, like meeting people on my first or my second job at KB Toys, like those people I'm still friends with, and like meeting you guys. I mean, Tim, I've known you for like what, almost a decade now at this point?
Yeah, dude, we're getting close to 10 years of knowing each other. And I know I met Kyle around the same time. I don't think we really regularly interacted until maybe a couple of years after that, maybe the next year after that. It's been about a good 10 years of a solid core of us that have all been somehow interconnected. And it's been, and I was just talking to my wife about this. She was like, it's been like 10 years. And I was like, yeah, I know. Can you believe it? We still made no money off this thing. Isn't that incredible?
I guess we got to go for a brand
10 more years. Another brand.
10 more years. 10 more years.
Yeah, we're going to be doing this till like we're, old men retired, right? We're be
GTA 8
maybe or something.
I thought about that. I was like, what if I got to the point where I was like, yeah, you know what? All right, I can't keep doing this for whatever reason. Like I just can't set aside the time. Like if I just got to that point, then what would I do? I'd be like, well, I probably wouldn't play as many games. And that thought made me really sad because I already like to play games a lot, but my variety of game choice, a lot of times it comes down to, well, I want to play this so we can talk about it and game of the year.
Yeah.
Like I want to check in with the guys about what I think about this game or this old game I finally knocked off the backlog. And like having that community, even for us, it's a smaller community directly here on the show, but then to a larger extent, whether it's Facebook group or others that I know many of us have multiple different chat threads on Facebook or WhatsApp or text or whatever. That to me is like what makes these kind of hobbies fun. That's why I like watching football because I have family and friends and my dad especially. We are major Penn State football fans. But if I didn't really have others to check in with about it, I'd be quieter about it and maybe I'd be less, I don't know, less passionate about that piece of my life
totally
too.
agree. Yeah.
You know?
It is nice to like check in with hobby stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think you're right. Like, would I play half the games that I play if it
Yeah.
weren't for, you know, like, yeah, I want to be able to talk about this. You
I'd
know,
probably
they seem
still
to
be
like
playing
it.
Valheim today if you guys weren't
Yeah,
around to like get
I'm
me
I
to play
probably,
it.
you
mean,
know,
but that's like
I'd
a
probably
good time
still
though.
be playing
That is a
Cyberpunk.
good
Oh
time.
wait, I am. So
Oh, you
whoops.
still are.
Yeah.
Like a good example of this is I gotta tell you, like, and I'm not exaggerating. We're gonna talk about some of our favorite games already this year in this episode. It's gonna be hopefully super positive. It's gonna be really fun. But one of my favorites this year, it's like right at the very top, alongside maybe one, possibly two others that I'm like, I love these games. But I probably wouldn't have played it if it truly weren't for you two guys. That was Claire Obscure Expedition
Mhm.
33. I played the beginning of it on Xbox Game Pass. I thought it was compelling, but I was like, turn based. Do I want to do that? I don't know. I think maybe that's just something I'm not into anymore because every time I start to lose interest in turn based games, I don't know what it is. And also just like I thought, I honestly, this is a true statement. I thought there's an air of pretentiousness to this game and people that like it that I don't know if I want to get into. I'm not sure if I'm in that
Yeah.
place.
Right.
I was so wrong. And I was like,
Mm.
as I played it and as I got so addicted to it, and I already can't wait to play it again. My daughter and son are both playing through it and they're loving it. And we're talking about like
Oh,
the big
that's
story
awesome.
moments and
Oh, cool.
stuff. And so they're 12 and 14. And I think they're at the perfect
Dude, that's
age
such
to
a
think
sad
about.
game.
It
Yeah.
is, but there's a lot of really fascinating and I think important issues tackled in that game.
Yes.
To be
Oh,
honest,
yeah.
with you.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I've loved it, and so all that to say, like, I don't know if I would have, but I was so excited, like a little kid who couldn't wait to get to school and get to show and tell and show his class what he's been doing. I wanted to
Yeah.
tell you guys about how much I love the game that you also like. Isn't that? It's crazy. It's like
Yeah,
so
no,
silly, but I
and
knew
he
how
kept
much
it
you
a
guys liked
he
it.
kept it a
Yeah.
Not silly at
secret,
all.
like a secret keeping secreter, you know, and came on
secret,
here
keep
and
it
dropped
safe.
that bomb. Yeah, like right.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, you
Yeah.
can what? And you what? You beat it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
I didn't
Yeah.
just play it. I played it for like 2 weeks straight, nothing else but that. Couldn't stop
And
playing it.
stayed
Lost
silent
a
about
lot
it.
of
I
sleep,
couldn't
and
shut up about that game. I was like, I don't know,
I know.
man. I think I'm playing art right now. I'm one of those pretentious people who is like,
This is
it's an
art, man.
experience,
This is
man.
art.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about that game, of course, today, but also in future episodes. But that's just a good example of kind of what we're talking about here, and where like that building
Yeah.
those connections and having whether it's
Yeah.
on a lighter topic or a hobby or just what game you playing, what show you watching, a throwback to wrestling chat with Jeff or whatever the thing is. Like I like that a lot. But then also when you have those really tough moments where all of a sudden you've got a burden that you weren't expecting, and at the very least to be able to vent about it with some people that you're
Yeah.
like, well, I trust them, so I think that's important. And we don't
Yeah.
obviously
Very
we are
important.
not breaking any records on viewership or listeners. We thank all of you who are here tuning in. Maybe this conversation actually interests a few of you even more than usual. But that's also part of the community, whether you're in the comments or whether you're in one of the Facebook groups or something like that. Hopefully, I know that I do when I listen to podcasts. Hopefully, you feel that like connection as Dan was sharing there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
important.
think the
So,
smaller
I
communities
appreciate-
have more opportunity for those connections too. I mean, like that's how
Yeah.
we all know
Yeah.
each other is from small. I mean, like
Yeah.
we didn't meet in Podcast Beyond. Maybe we saw each other's names or something. You know, we didn't really start talking until like Fathers of the Grind, which was 100, 150 at the very beginning, like or lower.
Yeah.
You know, with maybe I don't know half of that people actually interacting, but like that gave everybody time to like I don't know
Yeah.
forge connections and stuff like that. And I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that's harder to do in bigger groups. So it's
Yep.
it's never
It is.
never a bad thing for a smaller intimate group.
Yeah, and you definitely were missed, Dan. There's plenty of times, whether it's in a conversation with Kyle on the show or even just something I was playing or experiencing, I'm like, oh, I bet you Dan loves this. So like
Yeah.
you're on our minds a lot. And I know you guys probably do the same thing. Like,
Thank you.
this is a football thing. Tim probably likes this dumb or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever the thing is
Yeah.
that you're, this is Elden
College
Ring. Tim will play
football.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we do that. Like as you build those bonds and connect on things, like you just, whether it's a song or whatever, there's again, speaking of Claire Obscure, there's a couple of many music moments that were stellar, but there's a couple that caught me that I was like, oh, I bet you Dan just lost it when he heard this part. Cause it just like, it takes a turn, some of the music moments take a turn you don't expect. And it's like, what?
Dude, I
What
just
is
sit
this?
there and I'm just like,
Yeah.
That's what-
I'm like, just...
That's where turn-based becomes a beautiful thing, right? You can just soak in the music for a minute without
Yeah.
doing
And sometimes you
anything.
need to. Sometimes you need to soak in the music.
Yeah, you
Those-
do.
that game is really something.
just absorb it. Yeah, basically, thank you guys for being great, and I appreciate you, and thank you anybody else. Like, some people did reach out during this whole fiasco. I know everyone's different. Some people don't like when people reach out, some people do, and I know sometimes that's tricky too. It's like, oh, I don't know if the person wants me to, like, I'm very much the kind of person. It's like, listen, I dealt with, again, that shit as a young kid and blocking myself away. So like, I prefer, like I said, building bonds and friendships and like talking to people. Talking is very important. You know, sharing these things is important. Don't not take care of yourself. Like, your mental health is just as important as your physical health, and sometimes sharing that is incredibly important. Not sometimes, actually, it's always important. You need to be better about that sort of thing. So.
And it will fester and get worse if you don't. Like, that's how it works. You know, like, you got to get it out in some kind of fashion. Get it out and get help. You know.
That's right. Couldn't agree more. We're so wise. We're gonna change this to Current Wisdom podcast.
Current Wisdom. Yeah, I'll get I have like a Sherlock pipe that I can.
I was gonna say we need a pipe. Yeah, we need a monocle. If any of you have a monocle, maybe we could.
I can break my glasses real quick.
I can get my top hat.
Dan's got the top hat. Yeah. We've got the monocle. We've got the pipe.
I'll put the tea on.
We all have some kind of facial hair, which usually makes you more distinguished, like a college professor type or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. I need a nice like ascot scarf to like throw around my neck. I need like one of those that like.
I got one of those too.
What's the shoulder pads that the professors have? Right? You
like the elbow patches on your
the elbow patches. Yeah. Tweed on your tweed jacket.
Gosh, we're so wise. We actually might have just like killed that theory of how wise we are with that, but that's okay. That's all right.
That's all right.
All right.
That's all right. Well, we're going to talk about games. We already mentioned one, of course, Major One and Claire Obscure. We'll talk more about that, but just games from this year so far that have jumped out to us. We'll do a quick look at some of the ones that are kind of swimming in 7. Some of them are close to averaging an 8 across Metacritic, OpenCritic, but some of the ones there that I think are notable, worth shouting out. And then maybe you guys have a few of those too. If you do, feel free to elevate them. And then instead of going over every single game that is, an 80 and above, there's too many. Like towards the game of the year stuff, we can go more in depth with some of these. I thought instead we would just highlight some of the ones that right now are pretty high for us, or at the very least we know are in like the conversation broadly that are worth calling out. We might pull up some B-roll of each of those. So I've got B-roll of the other stuff, but if there's like a favorite that's worth really diving into, we'll pull some stuff up for those. So, and then any that you feel like are personal picks that are definitely vying for a spot in your favorites of the year. So yeah, I actually played more games this year than I realized. It's been, I don't know. I looked back at some of the ones from earlier in the year. I was like, oh yeah, that was in 2025. There's a few that
this year has felt like an eternity for more than one reason.
Yeah, it really has. Yeah, I keep on looking at my watch and going, it can't just be halfway done.
Yeah.
I feel like 3 years I've lived this year. So.
Yeah, we're just over halfway. Barely over halfway there.
Shoot me.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
But anyway. All right, so let's jump into, there are some new games this week, and I do kind of like highlighting stuff that's new, especially when it's smaller things. The first one is one that I am playing, so I did want to highlight that one real quick. So let me pull up this, make sure the volume's off. Yeah, there we go. So of course, this is College Football 26, like I mentioned before. This is my Madden. You know what I mean? Like, this is the one I care about.
Yeah, this is a lot of people's Madden. I think people like college football more. Like whenever I talk to people.
Yeah. Well, and if you look at the crowds too in the stadiums and how many more, there's like 120 Division I teams, and the stadiums range anywhere from 20,000 up to like 112,000, which is bigger than most all NFL stadiums. So like the fan base is ridiculous. But anyway, it also has a lot of RPG elements to it that I love. As you're trying to you're like building up stats, your coaches are leveling up, your players are leveling up, you're trying to recruit players to come to your team, and they each have different rankings, but you don't really know what their stats are unless you scout them, and you only have a certain number of hours each week to scout them. So there's lots of we talked about simulation and management and RPG. This has a lot of that. It always has, and it's just gotten better with each iteration. So it's pretty exciting for me to be able to dive into all that stuff, hiring and firing your coordinators, or you can create a player and work your way up from, you can pick yourself to be like a superstar who every team wants to recruit and start right away. You can if you want, or you could be like a 2-star. So it goes from like 1-star up to 5-star recruit rankings. And if you're a 2-star, you got to really work hard in like the mini games that the game provides to get onto the roster and eventually get a shot in a game or two. And it might be your sophomore year when you finally get to play and maybe become a starter. And like, it's this whole road to glory thing. So they allow you to kind of live out whatever college football like dream you might have as a coach or as a player. So I love it. And it really, as a football fan, it's kind of like, why wouldn't you get this game if you love college football?
That's super cool.
It's
Are
really
you
great.
like on the bench in your freshman year, just sitting there watching?
You can be. Yeah, I think I wanted
you?
to split the I split the difference, so I did like a 3-star receiver or something, and so I didn't play a lot right away. But then yeah, got to play. I've also done a coach where you start as like a low level coach as a coordinator, and then over time as you do well, you start getting job offers from other schools, and you can choose to renew your contract or go to a different school. And
that's wild.
it's got all those pieces to it.
That's super wild,
dude. Yeah, and you can even see here some of those stats you're changing. You can change like how computers react and like how often refs call certain penalties. Like you can really create your own version of college football. You can change conferences and the playoff rules and yeah. So again, if you kind of want to be college football commissioner, you can do that with this game. Essentially, you can kind of create your own. Or if you like to be super realistic and maybe you don't want to change anything, you want it to be like really by the book with how it is in real life, you can do that too. You could play through a real season with others online or by yourself against computer. So it's not without its flaws. It's got some stuff that EA Sports, they always struggle with certain elements of their games and some of the menus, or sometimes there's glitches they don't really realize with certain elements, but none of it's game breaking, and I think it plays really well. I like it a lot. So
what's the biggest change from last year? Like usually Madden's like, this year it's our running game, or this year it's our tackling physics. Like, is there something that they kind of leaned into?
Yeah,
in
there's nothing that. I remember the year when they did that. Do you remember the hit stick? That like 2005 or 6 or something. Like the hit stick was a thing.
Yeah,
that was like a big marketing push. Was the hit stick? I think they even had like Ray Lewis or someone do like part of their marketing for the hit stick. There's nothing like that, but they certainly have added more in depth. It's like more quality of life things. So it allows you to do like more quick substitutions instead of having to hit pause and go deep into the menus to find how to swap out a player who's maybe on the verge of injury, but the computer left him in and you want to bench him so he doesn't get hurt for the next week or whatever. There's a way to do quick substitutions that they didn't have before. There's a lot more customization. I've noticed that the AI seems a little smarter, both with recruiting and in the game, but it's still not perfect,
Okay,
so.
Cool.
But yeah, nothing super major other than everything is just updated and a little smoother, kind of like it's been in the past. I remember getting like NCAA 2010, 2011, 12, 13, you know what I mean? Like until 14 when it stopped. It was the same kind of things, So yeah, I'm of course having a blast with that. Stayed up way too late the last couple nights playing it, but I regret nothing. It's kind of, I think of this too as when you guys talk about like the Gran Turismo games or Forza Motorsport, RIP. When you guys talk about those games, I'm like, I totally get it because that's me with this. Like,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
getting into the nitty gritty of an element of this sport or competition that you really like. This stuff is pretty nasty. This that has the EA Sports stuff that you probably saw there, but anyway, not bad. Also out this week, guys, is the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. I think it's actually on Nintendo Switch 2 as well. So
yeah, it is.
That is out now. Either one of you get this or play this? I think it's on Game Pass.
I haven't played it, but I played these games back in the day, and they're super addicting and perfect soundtracks. What a collection of great music and stuff
Good
like
soundtracks.
that. So, great soundtracks. Which I think it's mostly all there. Maybe a couple new tracks, maybe a couple tracks that couldn't secure the license for, but mostly it's all there like it was for 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are y'all interested in checking this out? I feel like I got my fill with 1 and 2.
Okay. I played 1 and 2 for a little bit, but I
think
haven't really keyed in on this one.
Yeah, like they took out the like open world feature in 4 and put in like a 2-minute mode. So I know a lot of people are mad about that, and that would be the only thing to get me back. So it's like maybe I don't check it out until like an
Ninja
underground.
Turtles. All right, hold on. You got me.
Doom,
you guys got
Doom
me.
Guy. Ninja Turtles and Doom
Guy.
Doom Guy. yeah. Fat Man.
I do like the arcadey ridiculousness of these
life.
games. I do like that it's not a simulation of skateboarding. Really, it's like arcadey. It's silly.
That's where Skate lost me. Like everyone really likes Skate, and I'm like, if you might as well just go out and skateboard. It's
there he is.
There he is.
Oh my word, he had a chainsaw Look at him. He has a
Yeah, as he
chainsaw
should.
while on the skateboard. As he should.
Yeah, as he
You're right.
should.
As he should.
Yeah.
As he should. So that is out this week as well. So
That's
is
gnarly, man.
It's totally gnarly. This cozy little game called Islanders New Shores is out now. If you want to do if you just want to do something super relaxing, there's no like major pressure on it. It's not going to make you stress out, but you want to design your own little island and build your little town and upgrade as you go. This is a good. It's got a demo on Steam too if you want to give it a try. But this is a good.
This is exactly what I need, Tim.
I love this kind of stuff.
These games.
Palette cleansers, man. These are fun.
Yeah.
So this kind of thing's pretty. It reminds me of like, and actually they're re-releasing this too. But it reminds me of the Keflings games that came out on 360 way back in the day. Yeah. There was a kingdom for Keflings and then a world of Keflings, and you like are building your own little towns. Very cozy and like relaxed pacing for those games.
I need one of those from time to time.
Same.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is out. So is this game I hadn't heard of before called Mycopunk. No shocker to you guys. This is a Devolver game. I'm sure that won't surprise you at all.
Here we go.
Okay.
I'm already interested.
It is a first-person shooter. Let's see how they describe it.
Okay.
Sci-fi co-op shooter.
Oh.
Out now in early access.
Okay, early
access. Kind of like elements of it almost are like, oh, is it a little bit Borderlands-y? Like there's elements to it that look familiar, but yeah. And the numbers popping out when you shoot. But yeah. And it looks silly too. Like it looks like it's not taking itself super seriously. So.
I feel like those are all the most popular PC games right now. Like the sillier looking, I don't know, the better it's doing. These games. Everyone's playing that
like
Peak
Schedule
game
One.
Right now.
Looks so silly.
Yeah, Schedule One. Yeah, it's a very sad. But like this Peak game, also, I don't know if you've seen this like co-op climbing game, but like the graphics are not great. But like when you look at it, you're like, I don't know, this is kind of cute too. Like it's not like high fidelity graphics or anything like that. And everyone's obsessed.
It looks like a Cartoon Network show almost.
It does, yeah. It kind of looks like something you'd see in like Adult Swim or something.
Yeah.
Well, also out this week is Patapon 1 and 2 Replay.
Oh, are you all into these Patapon games?
I thought this was out already.
I always wanted to play these.
I'm not sure. I think maybe it's just now hitting certain platforms or something like that. But yeah, it was released as at least on some like on Nintendo Switch and Switch 2, I think. But maybe other platforms just came out this week too. But yeah, this is the replay of. I never got into these games. I feel like I might have played one on PSP or something.
PSP is kind of what I'm thinking about, like where it came from, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because all three of them were. I think all three were PSP.
Oh, okay.
And 2 and 3. Yeah. And I remember dabbling with like the first one, but didn't keep my attention.
Yeah, there you go. Patapon 1 and 2 Replay are available either just recently or they've been out for a little while. It depends on which console you have, I think. And then there's this game that I thought looked kind of cool if you like XCOM type games called Every Day We Fight. And it has got this setting. Let's see if I can find it in the description here. Citizens from either side of a grueling war got to set aside their differences in the face of a sudden and mysterious alien invasion. So you could say it is very XCOM-like.
Yeah, it is. It's just XCOM, which I love. Yeah.
Every Day We XCOM is the name of this.
Every Day We XCOM.
But yeah, this one looks fun. Looks pretty in depth, and it is out now. So there you go. Every Day We Fight out now. So I thought I'd highlight a few. I like to highlight a few games, even if it's not something I'm necessarily diving into at the moment, other than college football, of course. But you never know. There's going to be stuff that flies under the radar that might just be the thing that you needed. Maybe you needed some cartoony first-person shooter like Mycopunk, or a casual town builder like Islanders, or Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Maybe you forgot that was on the way, and it is out now. And you can play it on Game Pass if you already are subscribed to that. I almost said for free, but as part of that subscription,
don't say that.
You can play that. You can play that
free. Yeah. Games are free.
You pay for a subscription, Tim.
My bad.
People,
my bad.
Lightning fast on that comment section.
Yeah, people are the best. So anyway. All right. Well, before we get into our kind of check in on the Game of the Year watch, is there anything you guys have been playing, or if you want to highlight things watching too recently? We'll do that now. Then we'll get into that, and then we'll close out with some headlines. So, is there anything that has been kind of in your rotation at the moment for gaming, or for watching, or any of that? Either one of you, just jump in there.
Dan, why don't you go? We haven't heard what you've been playing for a little while.
Thank you. Actually, it was a little tough at the beginning when the whole thing first started. I was kind of freaking out a little bit. I was like having trouble focusing on gaming a little bit. I was playing, and I'm still playing Stardew with Renee. But like we're like the furthest we've ever been, so we like have actually like been finishing things that we never did before, which is really fun.
Cool.
Nice.
So Stardew, and funny enough, Celeste, which is like stressful, but like not stressful.
Yeah.
Also, it's appropriate subject matter too, in my opinion.
Also appropriate subject matter.
Yeah, which I wasn't really thinking at first. I was just like, oh, this game just has a really great soundtrack and it's just kind of cozy, but like also like really difficult. And I've gotten the furthest in that I ever have. I was contemplating going for the platinum, but I'm like legit stuck at this one part that like there's this chapter that opens up that I didn't even realize there was another chapter. I don't know if you guys have ever made it that far in Celeste.
No, I finished the main game.
That game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I finished the main game, but I did not do all of the B sides or whatever. I didn't do all those, but I did finish the main game.
Yeah.
It's
so you gotta do all that, and then
humbled me big time.
Extremely. And like literally this new secret chapter opens up, and then there's like things that they teach you. Then like it's like, oh, so now you get here and there's this thing that you didn't know you can do, and you do it here, and it's super freaking hard to do, and I'm like legit stuck. So it's like, that's cool. I was gonna go for the platinum, but I don't know if I can now, so we'll see. But it's gotten better because I was trying to play Assassin's Creed also, and I was like kind of having trouble focusing on that. I was like, God damn it. But then
you gotta kind of find something to like match your output. You know what I mean? Like and that's hard sometimes. You know, because like every game feels different, and maybe you're not feeling like wanting to meet the game where it needs to be at that moment in time. Right. I've felt that so many times, so I get that.
Well, I was also like in the middle of it, so like I had taken some time apart from it because I was playing whatever else, and then I got sidetracked. Oh, it was Claire Obscure. I got sidetracked with Claire Obscure, and then I had to circle back around to it. But true.
Oh, that's always fun finding your footing in a game again too. Just like I have to kind of teach myself the cycle again and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but I did finish it. And it's not reinventing the wheel, and certainly stories have done it better. But like, I don't know. I thought it was a really strong entry for the series. Like I cared about the two main characters. I like Yasuke's story a lot. I like how they intertwined him into it and how that's connected to the Assassins Guild, the group. I liked that connection. I thought that was really cool. And I don't know. It just, I mean, I was
very happy with the way both stories ended too. Like I liked the wrap up. Yeah. Did you like kind of how they? I mean, it wasn't. Yeah. I didn't finish it going, wow, I'm blown away, but I was like, that was good. Like I feel satisfied with how it ended.
Yeah.
And I say that because that's notable because Valhalla, I did not feel that way. I was like, I felt very unsatisfied. I was like, what the heck? This game just kind of stopped. Like, what?
I'm 1,000% sure that it was Dan saying many times on the podcast, this game has no ending, that I was like, I'm not playing this game anymore. Like I'm 1,000% sure.
I was so mad. I was so mad.
But like you kind of freed me. You freed me from that game. I was like 80 hours in.
It's possible that the DLCs maybe the DLCs might wrap things up, but like sorry, like that's a bad way to do it. That's a bad way to do it.
No. Yeah, we've raged before about putting like endings in DLC. Azura's Wrath was one that Capcom did that everyone just lit that game on fire for. So it's like, I'm never for that. But yeah, no, you freed me of that game. I was just like, 80 hours is a long time. I got my time. Like I can move on.
I'll take the bullet for you anytime.
What a guy.
Send you out there to see where the end is and see if it's good enough. If you come back and you say it's not, I'm out.
Hey, Shadows is worth your time to finish, Kyle. I think you'll love it.
Yeah, I am. I similarly got distracted by Claire Obscure and just haven't, then it's just been a deluge of almost a game every single.
I was the opposite. I started Claire Obscure, was like, I can't get into this. I'm too into Shadows right now. And I ended up putting like 80 hours into Shadows. I just couldn't stop playing it. I was loving it. And I don't want to do anything else. So like, that's one of the reasons it was easy for me to like ignore this pretentious French artsy game. Pff, get this out of here.
It
Put
is
this
all
to
of
the
those
side.
things. It is pretentious. It is French.
Yeah.
It is artsy.
And then here I am, like crying like multiple times throughout that stupid game that I love so much.
Oh yeah,
now, but whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
I'm glad you finished Shadows, Dan. I'm right there with you. I think they did a really good, overall very good. And I don't disagree with a lot of the reviews that it averages around like a 82 on most of the Metacritic, OpenCritic. I think that's just about right. I might put it a little higher personally because I really liked it, but I think that's about right.
That's what Ghost of Tsushima got. So that's which is
geez.
crazy to me that like we
So
like
crazy.
critics think of those games as like similar quality to me. And they're both high quality. I just Ghost of Tsushima is so special, and they're like 80. It's an 80, mid 80.
It's like a life changing game, and they're like,
yeah,
mid.
it's a game of a generation type game, and they're like, it's not a 9.
Right.
Yeah, but the only other thing that I'm focusing on now is Fantasian. So I finally circled back around to, speaking of games that I started and then stopped, Fantasian. That's from Mistwalker Studio, in case anybody forgot. That's Sakaguchi Studio, the creator Final Fantasy. Yeah, this game is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, visually, like overall, like it's not the prettiest RPG. It's just unique because again, the backgrounds are like actual handmade dioramas, which is so cool. I just think the storytelling's really cool, and I've seen people play Lost Odyssey because I've sadly never played Lost Odyssey. I didn't have a 360, but it reminds me a lot of Lost Odyssey because I've seen where like there's just kind of like you're playing the game and then like a still image comes up and then there's like a narrator that's kind of telling you a little bit of like background of like a character or something, and they do that in Fantasian. And there's like some really interesting stories for your party members that you meet, like learning about like stuff that happened in the past, and the narrator's like reading it along, and I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. I'm pretty sure because originally this game was on Apple Arcade, but they divided it into 2 pieces. So I think I'm past the halfway mark, so into part 2.
Okay.
And once it's hit that, you start getting these items that unlocks like a skill grid. So then it becomes even more RPG, and you're like choosing to boost your defense and attack, or like certain abilities and stuff like that. So that makes it more enjoyable, gives it that more RPG element. But then they also added, once I started growing out the party, Final Fantasy X switching characters in and out, which is super awesome. I love
that. The way it should be.
The way it should be. That's right.
Come on, don't make me waste a turn switching someone in and out.
Yeah, so they do that, and it also show you the turn order. So it's very Final Fantasy X. It shows you the turn order, and you can swap them. Yeah.
How those things never became like just steady, like, oh, we have to have these like in every game, like makes no sense to me.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think the combat not, quite as interesting and nuanced as like Claire Obscure, because they added a more actiony element. I do love the depending on the ability that you're using, you can kind of like almost like Wanted the movie, like curve your bullet, so to speak. Like you can dictate the direction of certain abilities, or it'll have like an area of effect, but you actually choose where you do it because the enemies will spawn in different spots in the battlefield. So like if you have a character that like comes down and like it's like a circle and you can hit like 5 enemies, you have to kind of like really like nudge it along there because they're kind of like they're just right on the outside of the circle, and maybe you can get them. So kind of it gives you just like that nice choice to kind of like
except just
try to get as many
menus. It sounds like, at least.
Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely it's traditional turn based, but there is that nuance of like when you're in the combat, like I have some kind of choice here where I can try to hit as many enemies as possible. So I think that's really cool. But I think it's really interesting. I think if you like RPGs at all, I think the story is pretty interesting. I think it's cool. And the console versions have the voice acting because the Apple Arcade version didn't have the voice acting.
Right.
So.
They added that. Yep.
Yeah. So
which Final Fantasy do they compare it to all the time? Is it 6 or 9? They're like, we try to make a Final Fantasy that's like what was, I forget what the
Fantasian or
Fantasian, yeah.
I mean, I would say more 6 for sure. Yeah, because it definitely has more of a sci-fi element.
He himself was just like, I was trying to make another, like, not exactly. I was not trying to make another Final Fantasy 6, but he was trying to make something in vein of that. So I thought that was the most interesting thing to me. It was like, well, I like 6. Yeah, I might need to check.
Yeah, he definitely leans a bit into sci-fi with this one. I will say, sadly though, the soundtrack, which not Hironobu, Nobuo Uematsu, the father of Final Fantasy music, the overall soundtrack kind of hit or miss, actually, for me personally. There's some weird tracks. There's some really good ones, and then there's some that are like, this is kind of weird. I kind of don't like this. Like this kind of weird. But I admire him experimenting and doing something different, because it's not Final Fantasy. It's like, I'm just gonna do different things. I mean, he's an amazing person. By no means this makes it so he sucks. He doesn't suck. He's amazing. So but yeah, that's really the only critique I have. So
okay,
but yeah,
nice.
That's it.
That reminds me, when speaking of soundtracks, I rewatched Speed this past week. I messaged you guys about that too. It's just kind of a fun throwback 90s action movie, which, by the way, totally holds up. So many great practical effects and like a bus doing an absolutely ridiculous physics-defying jump, which is amazing, and I love it.
Makes no sense.
How does that bus get air? How does it get air?
There was like a stack of like boards.
It's like
it's not a ramp. There's like a stack of boards that are at the end of this thing, and it goes boom.
Yeah, and then somehow gets air. I love it. I don't care. It's not a critique. It's just an observation of badassdom.
Actually, you know what? Dude, I'm just gonna say it. We need more of that. We need more buses that
can
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even actually go upward right as it launches. It almost kind of tips down, but somehow still makes it over.
It's like the next frame. It's like it's suddenly higher. I'm like, I don't get it.
It reminds me of when you're a kid and you set up a ramp for your bike and how you imagine it's gonna go.
Yeah.
And then in the movie it plays out how you imagine it. But like in real life, that's not how it would go.
Yeah.
But whatever. No, it was great. It was cool fun to, because you've heard stories over the years from Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves about that movie, and everything from like how the the studio was furious that the director wanted him to have a haircut that would be more befitting of a LA cop who was like doing the work that he was doing. He wanted him to have like short buzz cut style haircut. So Keanu did it. I guess the studio was furious because he was known for his like beautiful long surfer hair.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean? Like that was actually like an issue. But then they left it, of course. And now to me, it's like an iconic different look for him to kind of have the shorter buzz cut for that.
This was the beginning of like his cool like turn, like this and God, what was that other movie with him and he shoots up in the air and the surfer robbers?
The Point Break.
Thank you. Yeah, like they were like taking this doofus from Bill and Ted and trying to turn him into an action star, and guess what? He became the biggest action star to ever live. Like, it actually worked. But like,
it's funny you say that because like there were major questions around like, is he the right guy for this?
Yeah,
like,
people were really like, studios didn't want it, people didn't want it. We were all like, the guy from the Dracula movie. I don't know. Like, I don't want this guy.
And same with like Sandra Bullock. She hadn't made a name for herself yet. She was known, but not like a big star at all yet.
Yeah.
And,
she was
and of course the adorable story of her being like her having a huge crush on Keanu is an adorable like behind the scenes story too, which is like, all right. I just like them both a lot in this movie.
He's a handsome fella.
Dude, Keanu's the man. Yeah.
You just in his proximity, you're probably charmed,
Yeah, I think so. I think if any of the three of us had been the girl on that bus, we would have also had a crush on Keanu Reeves. I think it's fair to say.
I do have a crush on Keanu Reeves.
I do too.
I'm not a girl.
I don't want to say it. I'm glad you said it. I needed you to say it first.
Imagine having a crush on the one.
I can imagine that. Yeah, but I just remember watching that movie and I forget how long opening credits could be in 90s movies. I thought that was like pre-90s, but like the 90s have the
whole credits.
Oh my gosh, it's all of them, and it's it's this elevator, and you're going, this is Speed. Like the trailer showed him on a bus. Like, why are we going down like this elevator shaft, and it never ends.
Yeah,
and
so anyway, the beginning part's like 20 minutes.
It is. And that opening sequence is awesome. I really like that.
I think it's the full it's the full theme. It's the full like movie theme plays, like a 4.5 minute track.
I think it is like almost 5 minutes, because I remember like I'm fast forwarding this on the VHS. I remember.
That being said, and I confirmed it because on Kyle's recommendation, on which one it probably was, I went and listened to it. The Metal Gear Solid soundtrack sounds so much like this.
Yeah.
Like so much like this. I'm surprised there wasn't some kind of legal action taken because it sounds
Hans Zimmer owns it all, so
yeah, that's you know what, that's fair.
Kinda, not really.
He's making money from all of it probably.
Yeah.
But anyway, all that to say, I love the soundtracks of both Metal Gear Solid and apparently Speed. I didn't realize I had seen Speed, but I had never connected it to a good soundtrack I didn't have it in my head as a soundtrack. But anyway, great movie, great flick. That's one thing that I watched. And then I've been playing a lot of college football, kind of watching / helping my kids play through some Clair Obscur. They're both pretty far into Act 2, so they're getting towards some pretty major moments.
Nice.
They've already had some big ones, of course, but they're getting into some bigger moments.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's pretty exciting. And then playing through more Arkham Asylum, just in bits and pieces here and there. That game still slaps. It's so good. It's still really good.
Yeah.
I'm so mad about when you said the date of that game last week. I'm still like, I hate that you said that out loud.
What was it? 2007 or 2008?
Yeah,
like it's ridiculous.
Like, shut up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's so old.
It came out the year my oldest son was born, and he's going to college this fall.
Almost
you know what I mean?
20 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, almost 20.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
insane.
So yeah, that's most of the stuff I've been doing this week. What about you, Kyle? Anything else you're playing or watching?
I did go out and see the new Superman. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I thought it was very uncynical and very charming and very wholesome. And go if you like old school Silver Age Superman, that's what you're getting. It's like purposely corny. It's very brightly colored. Like it's all that good stuff. So, go give it a whirl if you're looking for something like that. Game wise, I have been trucking away on Death Stranding 2. Speaking of forming bonds and connections, that's what this game's about. It is.
I mean, it says it in the subtitle or in like the advertising, right? Something about should we have connected or something like that.
Should we have connected? Yeah. Now, it's a doozy of a game. I still am just in awe of like how it might be his most cinematic work. Like there are just moments where I'm just like, this doesn't have anything to do with the story. He just wanted to shoot this, like he feels like
he's always wanted to be a director, right?
He feels like an art director, like out of high school, like shooting his first movie for the first time, and he's just like, we could do it.
But he has all the toys you could ever want.
Yeah. He's got all the money and all the toys you could ever want, and he's shooting it all. Anything he's ever thought of, he's like, I don't know, how do we get whales in this? I don't know. He's always, it's just nothing makes sense that's like that you're seeing in this game. It is just there to be cinematic, and I love it. It's so great, and hit some pretty big emotional stuff. I'm at the very end of this game. Like I'll probably beat it tonight if I just buckle down and go to it. I'm having a really hard time being like, hey, just do all the side stuff. I'm like in a point now where I'm just like, I gotta figure out what's going on here. And it is a nice thematically rich experience about like accepting death and forging relationships and just a lot of just subtext. The story is very subtext, and the stuff that's in your face is all like the cinematic cool crazy stuff. And there's just some really great fight sequences, just some really great cutscenes. He figures out a way to like make me feel like I'm watching really long cutscenes, but like they're usually not any longer than like 5 or 10 minutes at the longest, so I'm not getting my hours, but like I feel like I am at the same time. I don't know. It does just a really good job of like pacing everything out and everything. It's just a great game, and there's some wacky tools. I'm telling you, there's stuff I'm like, I'm never going to use that, but I'm glad this is here. But
it exists.
Yeah, it exists. Yeah.
You talk about long cutscenes. I always think of Xenosaga every time you say it.
Oh my god! Yeah, remember that? That game.
The Kojima of RPGs.
Yeah. Why? Are those ever going to get remade? Those feel like those are ripe for remakes or
they should be. First of all, they're really good RPGs.
They're very good RPGs. Yeah.
But they need to do something quality of life with the cutscenes. Like maybe you can save halfway through if you have to leave.
Yeah.
It's like a 45-minute cutscene.
There's like an intermission, like where it's like.
It's like, would you like to watch a movie during this gaming session? It's like, I do, but I have to go. I can't.
What's wild is that was supposed to be 6 games. That was supposed to be a story arc that spanned 6 games.
Did it only get to 2?
3. Yeah, there was 3.
There were 3. Okay, yeah. I never beat the third one. I know I at least played up to the second one, so I really like that first game a lot.
Me too. Chaos, right? Wasn't that one of? I remember that game pretty well. I like that. Yeah, or Cosmos, not Chaos. Cosmos. Yeah. Really good characters in that first game that I remember pretty well too. But anyway, All right. Anything else for either of you before we jump in to some game of the year talk? All right. I know it seems a little early, right? It's like talking about what do you want for Christmas in July. I get it, but it's been a front-loaded year of stellar games, and so it's just good for me, at least. This is mostly selfish, I suppose. Now that I'm thinking about it, for me to pause and kind of like take account of what's happened so far, what I've played so far this year. How are we feeling towards games that we've played, and then just generally speaking, thoughts on like, yeah, that one is not my game, but boy, that's gonna make some moves at the Game Awards or whatever. Like, there's gonna be some games like that too. So, I thought we could go through a few of those, but I want to give a few shout outs first to one of our favorite categories, because all of us, I feel like every year, each of us has at least one game that's in the low 80s or down in the 70s. That's like our swimming in sevens. It's like, hey, this is not going to win any awards, but dude, I like this one. There's something about it, you know? So, and a good example, of course, for me from a few years back was Maneater, which, by the way, I got it on the Switch too. They didn't have an official update, but it does run really smoothly. I remember reading about how poorly it played on the original Switch. It just wasn't optimized super well, and the frames would dip a lot. It's not the most crisp version of the game visually, but it does run super smooth. So I do like it. It's nice. So Maneater is a good example of that, where it's definitely it's it's your B movie or even C movie of gaming, the Swimming in Sevens. So I thought I'd bring up a few, and then maybe you guys have a few as well in case I missed some. I'll just go through them real quickly, but these are ones that jumped out to me that are also, they're anywhere between like 79 to kind of 81 on average and down. For the most part, I try to keep them in the 70s. There might be one or two that's like, if it's in the 80s on OpenCritic, maybe it's in the 70s on Metacritic. It's just hard. There's no way to get like a true, here's the correct aggregate score, and that's okay. We don't need that. So anyway, here we go. Here's the first one, and I have not tried this one yet, but I really want to. I've seen it go on sale a few times. Eternal Strands. Do you guys remember this game? Or
yeah,
when it came
this one
out,
looked kind of interesting. It was only like what, $40 when it came out. I was like, oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, like you can you climb up big bosses, Shadow of the Colossus style,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think it was only $40 full price. But it's a AA game, but it's got some interesting looking visuals, and it looks like fun boss fights. I don't know, but I'm intrigued by this one. But this is a good example of a swimming in sevens, and of course, in their launch trailer, they're putting all the people's comments who are pumped for the game, which is great. But I like that. You're fighting a dragon while riding it. Come on. That's pretty excellent.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah.
And then we had Atomfall, which also ended up in the 70s in its reviews. This was that first-person shooter set in post-apocalyptic England. I forget the name of the town.
Oh, yeah.
It's on Game Pass. But, it kind of, to me, reminded me of like Atomic Heart, but minus like the really uncomfortable robot situation that was happening in Atomic Heart. So it kind of has that vibe to me. It looks nice. Like the graphics look nice and crisp. So it looks like a good game, but I never.
Yeah, a little bit of Fallout too.
Yeah, a little Fallout. Did you guys ever play this one?
I did, but I wanted to check this one out.
I was excited this one. Yeah.
I
haven't tried that one.
There's another one that kind of landed right there in the mid 70s on average. It doesn't look fun, and the weapons look ridiculous. But anyway, there's that one. There's one, Kyle, that you and I talked about a couple weeks back called Chronicles of the Wolf. And if you like old school Castlevania games, I feel like this is one that's worth giving a look. The reviews did come back in the 70s, but whenever there's a retro game, I take that with a grain of salt, because I'm like, you might not be reviewing this, Mr. or Miss Reviewer, with the right context of, this is meant to be a shout out to games of yore that are a little stiff and a little clunky and like lovingly so. So I don't know. I don't know if those scores could have been higher in the right context, but this looks fun to me. I love the werewolf idea too on this whole thing, Chronicles of the Wolf. So
cool.
So that one was pretty cool. Then we had a Don't Nod game, the Lost Records Bloom and Rage, which I think
I want to play this one.
All three of us had an interest in, but I don't think any of us played it. It was more like, hey, that looks cool, but I don't think we played it yet. Yeah. Also, both of those chapters, tape 1 and 2, both came out in with those kind of 70s average on reviews, which
didn't scream you need to go play this, but I do like this format of video game. Yeah.
Same, yeah. And I feel bad about that. Like, I don't want a game to have to get in the 90s for me to fire it up. Like,
I
don't want that, but like, if it's not already at the top of my list of I'm going to play this no matter what, then it is hard to interrupt the other stuff that's happening.
Things are already vying for my time, so yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, put more stuff on.
This
the
is
plate.
one I'll visit at some point because I do like Don't Nod games a lot. But
I like the '90s theming going on.
Me too.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
Yeah.
We had this side scroller called Mandragora. I think it's like Whisper of the. What was it called? Whisper of something. It had a big long subtitle. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, Mandragora. This one came out also in the 70s. It kind of reminds me of like Blasphemous and those kind of games. I don't know if it's actually that style of game, but I like a good side scroller action RPG, and that's exactly what this looks like. Big old skill tree. Yeah. So this one looked fun, but a good example of swimming in sevens. Right alongside one that I did play and I did complete, and I love this game. This might be my top swimming in seven game of the year so far, and that's South of Midnight, which came out in March or April. I forget when it came out. I adore this game. I think the visuals on it are really noteworthy, like really top notch. The animation is incredible. And then it does tell a really compelling story, a really intriguing story with mythology I have never heard of before. I don't know to what degree they made up a lot of it for the game or if it's drawn from real kind of New Orleans mythology from the deep south. I have no idea. Like Cajun mythology, I don't know. But I thought it was awesome. I loved the artwork, loved the story. The gameplay was fine. It did, it did what it needed to do. It wasn't bad, but it didn't. None of the platforming or fighting really got me out of my chair, But it was good.
This being in the sevens seems wrong.
Yeah,
like,
same.
To me, it's like a 85 out of 100 if I had to score. Like I thought it was really excellent. The only thing keeping it from a 9 was the gameplay got repetitive, especially towards the end. But when you get to that final level and the story and the emotional stakes, you'll be like, dude, this is so good. It's really good.
Yeah, that seems off to me. But
yeah, I agree. I love this one. All right, let's keep rolling here. We got the Tainted Grail. If you guys remember this one, this was that.
I really wanted to play this.
Yeah, me too. It's that love letter RPG to folks who played like old Oblivion and all those kind of old first-person RPGs. It's a first effort from this dev, I believe, and for all intents and purposes, I think a AA in terms of like its team size and funding and all that. But man, it got overall very positive. What the heck is this game type responses? People were surprised by it.
I hear like it's a 9 at heart, but like just a lot of like bugs and stuff like that kind of brought it down to a 7. So maybe this is one of those.
It sounded
games
like a lot of
that,
like fixable
really
things,
well
or maybe like with a sequel could be amazing things.
I mean, it's not anything game breaking or anything like that. Just rough, because it's a small studio. That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So yeah, Tainted Grail, great example of a very high quality swimming in sevens game. Same with Dan, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I know you were the one who was talking about like, guys, this game is surprisingly fun. You're not the only one. I've heard a lot of people on other podcasts and shows and elsewhere talk about like, guys, Hello Kitty is a really good game. Like if you like Animal Crossing and if you like any kind of like life sim game, like it's actually really good.
This is what most people on my Switch play like friends list is playing. I'm not even kidding. Like I have a lot of people. I'm like, everyone's playing this game.
my wife still plays it every day. Pops into it. Like the updates are like they're keeping up with it. Like adding stuff and doing things. Like so it makes sense too that people would have a reason to keep hopping back in. So.
Yep. And this is one of those ones that's like almost averaging an 80. It's like at a 78 or 79 average. Like it's generally speaking very positive reviews, and user score I know is very high as well. So, and that's one that you could sink a ton of hours to from what I can tell. So there you go. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Also this wacky one we talked about months ago. It looks like such an acid trip. It's called Everhood 2. I have no idea what this game is. It looks so weird and so wild.
All right.
Yeah. But the people who have gotten it apparently love it. People like they like stuff like Undertale and whatever else that's very kind of meta and weird and kind of catching you off guard and by surprise. And it's like very uncomfortable sometimes. Like, it looks
Sleepy lady.
I saw God Complex in there.
Yeah, I did. I saw that too.
Just word salad. Cool. Yeah, this one
be on drugs when you play this, right?
Yeah, right, right.
I think when you play it, you automatically have drugs in your system, even if you didn't take any. They just appear.
It just installs it right into you.
Yep.
Free DLC.
That's called Everhood 2. Even the title screen is like, where is the title?
Oh, that's on the Switch. Okay.
It is on the Switch. Yeah.
Guess who's
Everhood 2.
that?
And then we've got one, Kyle, that you talked about a bit ago, this Raidu remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army, which is hovering right around an 8, so not quite qualifying for swimming in the 7s, but it's on the cusp. We're kind of shifting now into some of the other games that are in the low 8s on average. But yeah, this is a beloved game and apparently runs quite well on your Nintendo Switch too, right?
Yeah. Very, very fun. Yeah. The detective element too, I like this one. They really mixed up the gameplay or paced out the gameplay in a really interesting way.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there's a lot of love for this one. So Raidu remastered. And we'll do one, maybe two more. So this is Tales of Iron 2, one of my early favorites early on this year. I 100%ed this game just like I did the first one. These games just work for me, man. Something about the combat and the timing, and then this really dark but somehow still funny storyline of these different animal tribes, whether it's rats or frogs or moles or owls. You have all these different tribes that you're interacting with. Some of them are, in this case, it's bats that have come to attack the whole kingdom. In the last one, it was mostly frogs. But you get everything from like these bounty hunts you go on to a very intense, violent storyline of revenge and saving your kingdom, all narrated by Doug Cockles of Geralt fame from Witcher 3, all the Witcher games.
There you
go. So hearing him narrate it is also great because it's a very dark fantasy world, but it's also tongue in cheek. There's lots of nods to Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, and there's lots of nods to like popular IP that they throw in there too. So I think it's very clever in addition to being fun. And
this is one I only hear good things about from so many people on so many podcasts, so it kind of shocks me that it's like low 8s or whatever. Like
I think the first one was right around the same scores as well, like 81, 80, something like that.
And people saying the same thing like as you do, where they're like, this is one of my favorite games this year. So it's like, it actually kind of shocks me this is as low as it is.
It's also, it is difficult. Like getting the timing of stuff takes a little while. Once you get it, you'll start to kind of dominate. Like even the tougher bosses towards the end, you're like, yeah, you kind of get the pattern. Not unlike a lot of the games we've already discussed, where it's like once you get the parry or dodge or whatever it is, timing down, when you notice the movements of enemies and you kind of figure out the formula, it's not bad. And then you can really just enjoy the game and get stronger and try different weapons and different builds and all that stuff. If you're having a hard time with the timing, it's going to be very frustrating and not super fun to play because things will kill you quick. Almost Dark Souls like to a degree, where things will kill you real fast. So anyway, I love Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. A lot of Game of Thrones references too. With the Whiskers of Winter stuff, a lot of Game of Thrones references for sure. So anyway, so that was a good one. All right, a couple that I wanted to just throw out there that are kind of in the low 8s, but certainly things that I know we're interested in. I know, Kyle, you spent a lot of hours with Dune Awakening. So I'll just go ahead and ask you, like, do you feel like at this point Dune Awakening it's in your conversation for one of your favorite games of the year already?
Yeah, I put 40 hours into it. Now, let me just say that this game wants to be your only game, and it's a game where you have to pay taxes in real time. This game doesn't care about you playing, so it's like if you log off and don't put fuel like in your generator, and this is what happened to me, and you come back 6 days later, I lost everything because my generator turned off at some point and it destroyed my house. 40 hours worth of house and collectible resources. I mean, I lost everything. So like my want to come back to this game is like at a 0. It's flatlined,
That's
40
tough.
hours is of playing this game. Like I'm not gonna like disown how much fun I had with that game.
Yeah.
It's just like I can't. No game can be my only game. That's not the kind of gamer I am.
Right.
The people who do play it that way. No, absolutely not. And like that, it goes for anybody. It's like, what does anybody do when they stop playing? Like I don't know how you. The idea is you're supposed to kind of link up and get a guild going and like kind of have
and maintain each other's stuff.
A bunch of people kind of maintain one giant megaplex, and I just didn't get there, So it's a very good game though.
What I love is that they delivered on their promise. Like it's a survival MMO that like really embraces the Dune lore while also telling a unique story and this kind of like alternate timeline version. Like they delivered on what they promised with a really high quality game, which is great.
And by the way, me saying a lot of this stuff is probably somebody's like favorite thing in the entire world. Like, I love that I have to get on and like refuel my generators. You know, like that's probably somebody's favorite thing ever. So that is not a critique. It's just like that's just what happened to me, and I lost.
That was their selling point. Okay, they were like, I wasn't gonna get it until I learned Reddit.
Yeah. At some point, my shields went down, and all of my neighbors probably stole everything from me, which is what you're supposed to do. So
that stresses me out just hearing that. So I'm glad that's for stuff. But the idea of like losing everything, again, I mentioned Valheim earlier. If I'm playing Valheim and there's an opportunity like, oh, if you don't play for several weeks, you know, maybe you're waiting for the next update or you're playing something else, you come back and all the time and energy you put into like building up your storage and your fort and all that's gone, I'd be like, no, not gonna do this.
My buddy keeps trying to get me to come back. He's like, I'll help you get all your stuff back. I go, nah, I'm gonna wait until they patch it, so it's not that. So and right now they are patching it a lot, so to make it more friendly, you know. So maybe down the line it won't be that like that. But yeah, you have to pay taxes in that game too. So it's like by the time I got on, I hadn't been on in a while, and it's like you owe so much to the government. I'm like, I don't, because I'm not playing it anymore. So I don't know.
Listen, not happening. I already have to deal with this in real life. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Of course, this is coming from the guy who will all day scrape gum off of arcade laundry machines, and you know what I mean.
Sure.
So it's like, I know
you're not paying taxes on that.
Like, I sure, but like, I'm like, I won't fuel my generators, but I'll do chores all day. You know. So
that's right. I will. You bet I will.
Right now.
Yep. All right, guys. What I thought we could do is instead of continuing to go like up the list of everything that's rated, 81 or 2 or 3 and above, I'll give each of us a chance to share. Here are some of the ones I've loved this year in no particular order. Feel free, like I don't want to rank things yet. I just want to talk about the stuff I've loved so far this year. So it's not a ranking. Order doesn't matter. It's whatever you feel like talking about. Or if 2 of us or all 3 of us have played the same game and just want to chime in on why you like it, that's awesome. But I'm also interested to hear not only like, this one's either currently has a spot or certainly will be fighting for a spot on my personal top 10, or maybe it's a dark horse, like whether that means for you, like, I don't know, this one might win and I don't expect it, or maybe you didn't see it coming at all and all of a sudden, boom, here's one of your favorites. I like hearing about that kind of stuff too, because that happened to me twice already this year. Games I didn't expect to be as beloved as they are for me now. So Dan, why don't we start with you? What's something you've played this year? And if you, I mean, I've got most of the kind of trailers for them pulled up. So if you mention it, I'll see if I can find it and pull it up while you're talking about it. But what's something that you've played this year that is like towards the top of your list, or certainly going to be somewhere in the discussion for you?
Yeah, it's been tough just because, again, I haven't played as much as I would have wanted to this year. But I'm very happy that I got to play and beat Claire Obscure, because that's absolutely my number one right now, and it's not even close. Way to just like be an RPG from a small team that then makes big boy companies like Square be like, hey, maybe we were wrong about turn-based like being dead, you know? Like that's pretty amazing. Like that's a big deal. But yeah, this game, like in its was it prologue, right? Prologue's the beginning. The prologue, like, you know, when this happens, like I was definitely not like full on sobbing, but I was like, shit, like the way the music hits in that moment, like it swells, like I was just like, all right, well, here we go, we're gonna do this thing. And it's just it's an emotional roller coaster. The game's beautiful. Like it is I don't know, it's a beautiful game. It is art. There are certain things about it that you start to notice after you play it for a while. It's like, oh, this kind of like moves a little weird, but it's like, it doesn't matter. It's beautiful. There's just so much beauty to look at. And the combat is just so interesting. I've said so many times before, why did they stop making games like Super Mario RPG and Legend of Dragoon, like, or Shadow Hearts? Like, I'm surprised there wasn't just dozens of RPGs that tried to do that, and that just didn't happen. Doesn't make any sense.
You just named the 3 games besides Final Fantasy that I feel like this game drew the most from. It's those 3 and Final Fantasy. I feel like it's an amalgamation of all those, plus all of its own unique elements too that can't really be attributed to anything. Yeah.
The music is amazing. The voice acting is amazing. It's acted
Yep.
very, very well. Amazing, like Hollywood stars. Like the freaking Gollum is in the game. Like that's insane. Like they
And he
got Andy
shows up
Serkis.
and puts in like 110%. Like it's
Oh
insane how
yeah,
he just shows up
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm gonna give them everything. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah.
He could have not. He could have just shown up and been like, hey, yeah, it's Andy Serkis. You know, but no, he
Yeah.
showed up and really delivered.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I totally
it's
agree.
just it's a special game, man.
It's really
it's unbelievably special game.
It's thematically dense. You know, like there were multiple moments I was moved completely to my core. Like, I mean, just completely. And it's in those amalgamation moments where like the music and the visuals are all hitting at the same time. Maybe a story, maybe story's having. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just something you're experiencing in the environment. You know, like. But there are multiple moments where I was just like, oh, like it just kind of struck me right to my core. And very special game. Might be one of the best games in the last like 10, 15 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is
this
one of those for sure.
This one is on my top 10 favorites of all time now, just because I'm too into it. I'm too down the rabbit hole on this thing. Everything from the behind the scenes to watching clips of streamers get to certain points because I want to see others' reactions to it. To now kind of playing it sort of like indirectly with my kids as they're playing it, and reading up on the real history of some of the historically real characters that elements of it are based on. Of course, it's historical fiction. But if you guys haven't, I recommend you look. It's crazy.
I haven't. No, I would love to
really good.
Get to that part of the onion.
I'm really just so impressed with this game, top to bottom. And it's funny, the only things that if I were to like, all right, it's time to like really peel back and break down the weaknesses. It's like, all right, so the platforming wasn't great. And there's a few sections that require you to platform if you want to finish some fun little side quests.
Sure.
But not for one moment did I go, never mind, I don't like this anymore. Like it was still like, it's fine. I don't care if the platforming's a little bit off.
Is the platforming good in any turn-based RPG, you know? So a lot of people try it, you know, so.
Yeah. But man, I'm right there with you, Dan. I don't even have much to add. You summed it up really nicely. It does everything that I want, not just an RPG or a turn-based game to do. It does everything I want a video game to do. It kept me interested.
Yeah.
It made it so I couldn't stop thinking about it story-wise, and the gameplay was so compelling and interactive. It wasn't a pure anything. It wasn't a pure action game, of course, but it wasn't a pure turn-based game either. You're doing stuff that you don't get to do in most games. Parts of it almost made me feel like a FromSoft level of like get good with the timing, and then if you do, it's going to pay off with the timing on some of this stuff. So, and there's a lot of optional stuff that I didn't do that I am going to go back and eventually do. Some of these bosses that I've seen and seen images and clips of that I'm like, dang, I got to go try that. So yeah, there's so much to it. So right there with you on that one. Kyle, what about you? What's one that jumps out? I know we all three of us are on the same page with Claire Obscure being right up there in the conversation. What else is on there for you?
I just talked about Death Stranding too, so I won't talk about that again. But that's obviously
that's up there with you. Yeah. I am curious as you wrap that up too, your thoughts on that compared to the first game, which I think the first game was your favorite of 2019, right?
It was, and that's another game where I kind of felt similar here. I'm like, yeah, the story's like good, but by the end of that game, I'm like, the last 2 hours is very like it wraps everything up and it puts everything into context, and you're like, oh no, that was one of the best stories ever. So it's like I assume something like that is probably going to happen, and so maybe when I come back next week, I'm going to be like, wow, guys, speechless,
Kyle's just gonna immediately start sobbing the second Death Stranding 2 is said. Just like,
the game did have me crying for no reason in a scene I don't think it was supposed to elicit that out of me. I don't know what happened, but like again, there was a mixture of music and visuals and stuff going on, and
I'll do it.
Maybe it was just wholesome in a moment where I needed something wholesome. I was just like, well, it was pretty good, Kojima.
Yeah,
you did it, dude. So anyways, I don't need to go on about that. I already talked about that today. Split Fiction, I feel like, is a pretty obvious like one that's probably going to win a lot of Game of the Year award stuff. It's one of those things when like It Takes Two like was winning left and right. I think Jeff and I both were like, "There's no way this game is that good. It won Game of the Year. Like, there's just no way." And then we played it. And we're like, "Yeah, okay." So I have a feeling that's going to happen again, where it's going to kind of be a runaway success. And now I'm ahead of it, so I'll actually, I'll get it ahead of time. And I think this game, I don't know, we talked about it in the chat a lot, where I was just like, I can't believe some of the stuff I saw in this game. I just don't even know how you think about some of this stuff, and or how you even convey to somebody on your dev team and be like, this is what I'm thinking, because I don't know how you use language to explain some of this stuff, especially the mechanics, that you're involving yourself in. Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing, and it kept me. It was the most fun I had playing a game this year too. Like Jeff and I were just laughing the entire time we were playing it, because sometimes you get bored and you just want to screw each other over, and there's a whole area with like magic that allows you to do that, where you can just keep on turning each other into different animals or whatever. It's very fun.
Or hitting each other with the whip. I was playing it with my oldest son, and one of the weapons reaches really well and the other one doesn't, and it's really funny. I played it through with my oldest son, which I think will be he's heading off to college next year, and he already does a lot of gaming on his own with his buddies online on his PC. But like, we were sitting on the couch together, grabbing some snacks, and for a couple hours a night for like a week or two, when we had both had an opportunity to playing a few more levels or sections of this game, and it was super fun. I think this game, I've seen criticisms of like writing or the story, and I didn't experience those, so I'm glad I didn't read reviews in depth before I played it. I felt like the characters were both very likable, and it was interesting, and the story was fine. I'm not sitting here like, I know they're talking about a movie version of it. I don't need a movie version of this. I think what makes it special is the gameplay of like everything you just said. Like
I don't. That's a weird one to me.
As just on paper, the storyline feels a little bit kind of like, I've kind of heard versions of that sci-fi-ish story before, I suppose, where you're trapped in worlds as this corporation's trying to take your ideas out of your head or whatever. Like, okay. But the way it's executed, the acting, but also these segments of using these different powers and all this is what makes it special. It's so creative, so good. It's definitely up there for me as well. It's right.
There's just not so many. There's just not enough co-op games like this nowadays. Like, it was such a thing when we were kids, but
Hazelight's like the only one who's focusing on it. It seems like right now, right?
Like no Nintendo, one's taking the hint. It is winning Game of the Year awards, and still like studios are like, people don't want that. It's really weird to me.
It must not be easy to do.
It can't be. I mean, again, like, I don't know how you think about some of this stuff. I don't understand how you even I don't know, build a team around like creating gameplay like this. So it's got to be hard.
I agree. The game totally delivered. It's one that I would absolutely replay. Like, I see my daughter wanting to play it too at some point. It'd be really fun to replay. Like you said, Kyle, it's just a lot of good laughs while you're gaming together. So, yeah, man, love that one. Dan, any other ones for you this year that you're like, this is in my top of the year? I know Claire Obscure we talked about. What else from 2025 is on your mind?
I mean, I don't know if they'll end up in like my overall list, but like, I mean, Doom: The Dark Ages was really fun, and like, I like that it felt like a back to basics kind of experience. Like,
yeah, man.
Because right before it, I was like, well, let me go ahead and pop into Eternal. Like, I hadn't played Eternal yet, and I was like, let me give it a try, and I liked it. I thought it was fun, but like, I don't know. I like that this one feels more grounded, like literally, because you feel like a tank, like just the way you move
heavy.
around and stuff. Yeah. I just feel like it was the appropriate amount of jumping around and parkour. Like, it just wasn't overdone. And Eternal just kind of felt like it was trying to do it a lot. Like, it was trying to up the ante, but it's like, well, maybe scale it back a little bit. And that's what they did here. So, and the soundtrack is still great. Like, I know it's not the same guy, but still great soundtrack. This is like my favorite look of Doomslayer. Like, he just looks so badass with the
character design
freaking,
is so great.
Yeah, it's just, and the shield is really cool.
The whole medieval setting with like creatures and dragons and castles,
it's still
combined
like
with
techie,
this is
weird
so
stuff.
Cool. Yeah,
it's a very cool vibe.
Yeah. So I mean,
I like the utilization of the shield too. Gameplay wise, I think the shield's a nice addition. I think it's really fun.
It's defensive and offensive. Like, you're throwing it, but you're also blocking, and and
the parrying. If you time the blocks right, it'll bounce things back at them or hurt them. I love all that.
I mean, freaking a mech. He's piloting a Doom mech.
Yeah, yeah. With like kaiju level battles that you get to do with the giant mechs, like the dragon flying stuff. Yep, all that's.
I don't know if this will be in my top 10, but I had a lot of fun with it. This was also one that it kind of in the middle of everything going on. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm, but it actually was keeping my focus because it was just straightforward enough that I was like, I can sink my teeth into this. Like, this is fine. So that still worked for me.
At the moment, it's definitely in my top 10. I've got it right around the middle right now. I did not finish it yet. I think I got to the 9th, 10th mission or so. So far enough in that I have a lot of thoughts and I've upgraded a ton of stuff, unlocked a whole bunch of guns, but I certainly haven't finished it. But man, it's really fun. Like everything you just said, I totally agree. It's just a really good time. It's like back to the basics. Yeah. Not that Eternal wasn't. I'm just saying it just feels like the right next entry for this series. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Agreed.
So, Kyle, is that one that's on your list as well?
I didn't play it much. I liked it a lot. So it's one I'll have to circle back to or whatever. But like the Xbox has some kind of curse. Like if it's on there, like I just like don't want to turn on that system. And I don't know why. It has nothing to do with like what's going on recently or anything like that. But like it's I don't have enough slots in my receiver, so I have to unplug my PS5 and plug it in. It's kind of like a process, and I'm like it just kind of bums me out to turn that thing on. So like things do get kind of forgotten on there if it's just on there. So like this might be one like I pick up on a sale, like on PS5, and then like suddenly I have this urge to like play and beat it. I don't know why I'm like this, guys. I've got no answers for you, but I do like Doom
it
a
is
lot.
What it is.
I could see it sneaking onto my list and bumping many things that don't deserve to be on my list right now. Because we're at the half year mark. We're at, this is not final. This is just our half year check in. A lot of this stuff like. I have like Monster Hunter on here right now. Like that's probably not going to stay on there. Like I've got a few things on here that might fall off. If all the things come out this year. So
yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds is an interesting one too, Kyle, because I know you completed it and then played a bunch of the kind of quote unquote end game stuff where most people argue that's where the game really begins, and that's totally fair. Like the main storyline can kind of feel like a prologue for the real Monster Hunter experience. I totally get that. But generally speaking, is this, as you played it and as you consider it, is it like, this is the definitive Monster Hunter experience now, or is there one that still stands out to you as?
Gosh, I don't know. Like I really like this game a lot, and it feels like a lot of people did too. And it's just like I think GameScoop put it this way: it's like this game was set up for a really good 80 hours, but Monster Hunter is an 8,000 hour game. Like it's thinking about that climb from 80 to 8,000. I guess for a lot of people, that part of it isn't good. Like there's maybe not a sustainability. Yeah. It also just came out 3 or 4 months ago, so I would kind of like to remind people, like, I don't know, maybe be patient, wait for some updates to come out and stuff like that. But I'm never the 8,000, or 1,000 or whatever hour gamer for Monster Hunter. I'll get a few hundred hours into it, and like that's more than I play most games, and that's more than enough for me. And I really like this game. I like it quite a bit. I feel like maybe the magic was a little more there with World, maybe. Like
that's exactly what I was going to say.
It also felt new.
Yeah,
the shift of like what it was before, right?
It just felt like it was just so new, and like watching them fight, like all the monsters, like in that fidelity for the first time was just like kind of magical. And like this is doing all that still, and it's adding a lot. But like I don't know, because it's not because it's not novel. Like maybe that magic is not there exactly. But I think this is a really solid game with some of the best bosses. It's definitely got the best music in the franchise. And
visuals, it's top-notch visuals. It's gorgeous.
So it runs really well. Yeah, I actually really like the open world. The way that the world in the hub areas is. I like how how you interact with the map and stuff like that, how you get from biome to biome and stuff. I like how quickly you can get into a monster hunt. It's grindy, but it doesn't feel as grindy. Like there's a lot of things I like about this game, and I just don't understand what like long-term Monster Hunter fans are looking for if they're already complaining about this game. Like I don't know. I don't have my finger on the pulse of that, but definitely worth bringing up. I think this is definitely a great game this year. So
yeah, if this ends up being someone's game of the year, I have zero issues with that being their personal pick. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It plays really well. It doesn't have that same magic that World had for me personally. Neither did Rise, but I did enjoy Rise a lot, and I played all of it and finished it, and I loved Rise. This one, for some reason, I fell off a little earlier, and I don't know why. It's not because I don't like it or will never play it again. There was just something that I was like, yeah, this is awesome, and I've kind of seen a lot of this before, in a way. I don't know how else to describe it. I kind of just moved on from it, and I left it installed. It's still sitting there, but I'm like, man, what was it? What kept me from diving back in? I don't know. We talked earlier about, being on a podcast like this, chatting with you guys. Sometimes I feel like, all right, I want to play a whole bunch of different things, and maybe I just wasn't wanting to play something that felt so familiar. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And maybe at some point I'll get that Monster Hunter itch, and this is the one.
Well, maybe a big update comes out and changes a lot, and it brings everybody back. You know what I mean? Maybe the game survives in its expansions. And so it's paid expansions and free content. So maybe
always possible.
Maybe we're talking about this game really differently in 6 months.
Yep. Well, one that I know that Dan, you and I both played and finished. Shorter, but super cool. Same publisher as the Claire Obscure publisher, actually, Kepler Interactive.
Yeah.
Published Bionic Bay. What do you think about this one?
This game is so cool. Like, I was immediately in because I liked the visuals a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And it just looked like it kind of reminded me of Celeste a little bit. Like, I like those kind of platforming games that challenge me to do crazy shit. Like, I don't know if I can do this, and I'm probably gonna have to try it 50 times. But that 51st time when I get it, I'm like, yes, it feels that's amazing. And that's basically what happens here. Like, you're just dying over and over, but it comes back real quick. So like Celeste, you're back in it. And yeah, just the visuals are so cool. The environments are so bizarre because you're in this weird dimension, people in the beginning, it's it looks like you're in this lab and there's an experiment happening, and then shit it hits the fan, and then I think everybody gets sucked into whatever this dimension is. But yeah, it is just I think it was a little too long, but at the same time I wasn't upset that it was long,
I'm with you.
But I just for what it is, I feel like if it was maybe I don't know, 2 hours shorter or something, I've been oh, that's the sweet spot. But still at the same time, yeah, I'm not oh man, I minus points because it was 2 hours longer than I think it should be. It's it's still super rad. So
this game was 100% a Steam Deck game for me. I played it while we were traveling earlier this year and loved it. It was a great game for the Steam Deck. It's not super taxing on that system, and and it looked really sharp. And like you said, the visuals are great. I had headphones in, so I got to hear the ambient sounds and stuff they have. It's really well made. If you like stuff like Limbo or Inside or those kinds of games, or even Planet of Lana, if you like those kind of games that have action-y moments with your platforming and at times pretty precise requirements for getting... You saw in that little clip, you rotate the gravity right at the right time. So there's mines all along certain passageways, and you have to do it perfectly.
Dude, excellent usage of physics.
Really
excellent
good
usage. Yeah. Just the way that everything
whenever it shifted, it looked so seamless.
Yeah.
I got smashed so many times. So many things smush you and blow you up and destroy you. And
but that's why I love the physics stuff, because it's just so fun seeing your body ragdoll, your dead body just flying off somewhere ragdoll. It's hysterical.
Yeah, there's even sections where they don't... I mean, it never gives you a direction of do this, and then that's how you get across here. It just puts the things in the environment, and then quietly your character approaches it, and you have to figure it out. Oh yeah, I have a teleport ability. I guess if I teleport this box there's a frozen beam, and it looks like that freezes it in place, so that'll help me jump across or whatever. It's all these very quiet puzzles you got to solve. Again, I like Limbo and Inside. So really cool game. I loved Bionic Bay. That was a really good time. Guys, one that I know that all of us have played at least a little bit, probably a lot bit. It's got to be Mario Kart World. I mean, a brand new Mario Kart came out this year.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
Yeah. Brand new Mario Kart is out this year. So this game, of course, is just super fun. It's got all the things you want in a Mario Kart game. I think there's elements of it where for some people, I understand how it can fall short. I don't find myself playing it going at all feeling grumpy and wishing it did or didn't do something a certain way. I think it's a great Mario Kart entry. But I understand there's elements, especially for the online folks, and I just don't play a lot of online matches. I just play local, either single player or local multiplayer. That's the way I play this game. So for me, it's got everything I need. I know there are legitimate qualms with the online offerings. Totally fair. But I
Yeah,
have had a
and that
blast.
does not get in the way of how much I like the single player stuff at all. Like, yeah,
Same.
like
I
I like
understand
it.
that. Yeah.
It is present, those problems, but yeah, I mean, if you never get online, like there is so much here, and I don't feel grumpy about it either. And if anything, I feel like, well, we got this at launch. Like that's kind of crazy. Like
Yeah.
it does feel like a good launch game to me, which
Yeah.
is, I guess, is also kind of
Even watching this now, I'm like,
take.
I got to go back and finish some of these courses that I haven't done yet. As a family,
Yeah.
we've completed every course, but I know my kids have played some without me. I need to get in there and play some of these that I haven't played myself yet. But
Yeah.
what'd you think of it, Dan?
I only have one qualm. One. All right. And it's just more of like, well, this is kind of annoying, especially for my wife, because she doesn't like to do like, all right, we're going to try this like 50 times because it's random and bad RNG.
Yeah.
But there's characters that you only can unlock from one of the power-ups in the race.
Yep,
It's just completely
and
random.
the power up is also based on the level that you're on as well. So it's like
Yes,
you have to
yeah.
be on the level, but also have to get the RNG of yeah. So there are like three characters I just can't get because RNG just.
I mean, that's where the open world
screwing
thing does come in handy. You can just drive over to that course and just keep circling around, and it'll refresh real fast.
Oh, nice! I didn't think about that. Yeah.
And
See,
so you just keep picking up the lunch bag. Yeah, I've
But I
unlocked a
don't
lot
think
of
the open
characters
world
in
works
open
for the-
roaming.
But for example, there's a dolphin character you can unlock.
Okay.
I think you have to get the power up. You can't just go in the open world and unlock him.
But I think in the open world you can still
It has the power ups.
get
The meals are there.
No, these aren't meals. These are the wizard that
The
turns
wizard
you into
power up.
the wizard that turns. That's how.
Gotcha.
But I still think you
Yeah.
can get power. I think you can get boxes, and I think those do drop still.
Oh
you
yeah,
just have
I
to-
think
you
that's
just have
in
to-
the open world, but I do think, to your point, it is still very RNG whether you're in a race or not. In a
Yes,
race,
yeah.
it's much more restrictive because it's like,
Yeah.
Anyway, there's the pressure.
And
of
also,
actually
you only
racing,
get it
too.
like the 5 people ahead of the person that uses the item too. So like someone might get it. Like my buddy's like, I got. I missed out on a character the other night because I suck at this game and I was way in the back. And my buddy hit it. All of my friends got it, and they got this new character. And I'm just like, damn it.
Yeah,
it's not fair. It's not fair.
No,
but I mean. That doesn't make the game bad, so
no,
it's still
it gives me something to
fun.
chase too. I'm still chasing unlocks, which is nice. That feels good,
Yeah,
It's kind of like that Super Smash Brothers like syndrome, where you're spending those first couple weeks like I've got to figure out how to get all these stupid characters. And I like that chase. That's fun. And when that's over, like the game's kind of over. So.
Sure,
the fun's not over, but
we've
yeah,
unlocked all of them.
in terms of unlocking things, it is over. So.
Yeah, we've unlocked all of them, and did I'm pretty sure we've unlocked all of the tracks, unless there's something I'm missing. Because then there's also the knockout.
Did you get mirror
mode.
Did you get mirror mode? Yep.
I don't think so. How do you get mirror?
You have to get a certain amount of like P block. I think you have to do a certain amount of P blocks and get like princess
challenges,
Peach
and, like,
coins. I don't know. Like you have to do a couple of things,
okay.
and then you can get every map mirrored. So look, you still got something.
Yeah, I haven't explored the open world too much. Just to get the extra outfits and stuff, but other than that, I haven't really done.
Yeah, dude, it's a great game. Like to me, that's one that's like
fantastic.
It's a no-brainer for heavy consideration on my list. Is it at the top right now? No, it's definitely in the bottom half. But it's not because I dislike it. It's more of like the competition this year is, to me, pretty stiff. And so yeah. Speaking of racing games on the Nintendo Switch, I didn't bring up any video for this one, but Fast Fusion, I did enjoy a lot. I didn't play it a ton, and I know they've already rolled out some free updates for that. There's a lot, speaking of unlocks, that you can unlock and purchase with cars, and you can unlock more and more tracks in that game as well. So I'm just also not great at it. So it's hard to like stick with a game.
It's hard.
That's not even,
it's a tough game.
when it's not your genre. Like racing isn't my best genre for sure. So when I'm also not great at it, and it's not my favorite genre, it is hard to like keep firing it up. But I know that it's one that every once in a while I'll just have an itch to play crazy speed racing F-Zero style, and this one does that. Fast Fusion does.
Bring back
That's another
Extreme
Swimming in
racing.
7 style game. Yeah, totally. I also didn't get any video of Keep Driving, that really interesting kind of indie side-scrolling pixel art game where you are literally going on a road trip, and like swapping out like cassette tapes to listen to and stuff, and stopping and talking to random people. Like Keep Driving is an interesting one. You have to manage your inventory as you find stuff along the way.
That one looked
Interesting
cool.
game. Got really, really high reviews as well. So did this one, which I don't think any of us played or finished the first. We definitely didn't finish the first game, the first Ender Magnolia. But the second one came out this year, kind of a surprise announcement and then drop. Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist came out this year to, again, just like the first game, rave reviews. People love these games. So
yeah, I got Ender Lilies on my PS5 because I finally bought it like a couple months ago, but I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah, these games look awesome. I played about an hour or so of the original. I thought it was really cool. You unlock these different spirits that can help you fight, and you start to equip, like this guy right here, helping her launch up. And you equip them and do everything from fight to navigate the environment. So it's really cool. I love the concept of it. But yeah, I'm pulling a Dan here. I gotta play and finish the first game before I play the second one, regardless of
course,
how amazing it looks and sounds. You know, so. It does look like it's a direct story sequel too, so I don't want to be totally lost in what's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that one as well. I've got a few others, but what about for either one of you? Dan, do you have any other ones that are like up there for you that you've been able to play? At least play enough of this year, even if you haven't finished it, but you've played enough to know, hey, this one's up there for me.
I'll just throw out, and technically it's not a new game, but it's got a second life on the Switch too, and that's Bravely Default. Because I never did finish it back on the 3DS. But dude, this game is beautiful. I love the look of it.
So good.
It's just gorgeous. Just like a pop-up book painting. And yeah, it's another RPG that's because I actually forgot to mention with Fantasia. There's some obnoxiously difficult boss fights in Fantasia.
Is it kind of similar to this, where like it's like suddenly the difficulty spike kicks in?
Oh yeah, there's some like gimmickiness with Fantasia boss fights that like I'm like legitimately pissed off, and I don't usually get like that with RPGs because I'm not bad at RPGs. I played them a lot, but I'm like Sakaguchi, you son of a bitch! Like why would you do this? But yeah, Bravely Default also pretty challenging game. It's old school. Like you gotta grind levels, you know, if you actually want to kind of be okay in fights. So
that game is very grind heavy, and I love that about that game because it makes it a perfect handheld game where I'm just like, well, I think I'll just for this hour while I'm watching the show, I'll just turn up the rate to 100% or whatever. And just one hit everything and auto fight and just do that over and over and over again, where I'm not even like looking at the screen. I'm just like going through the motions of watching whatever I'm watching.
Exactly. Yeah. And it drives me crazy too, because you have all these people that are like, "Oh, where's the classic Final Fantasy?" It's like, this is literally classic.
They're still making
it's literally about crystals.
Yeah,
literally about
they're
crystals.
Still making these.
So like, yeah, something like this, or like, or the Octopath games feel pretty classically square. So like, yeah, if you're like, oh, I need a classic like RPG, something Final Fantasy leaning, it's like it's right here, like right there, Bravely Default.
There it is. Right.
It is. Yeah.
Right there.
Totally agree. One that I think all three of us would like if we put time into it, but I'm pretty sure none of us have put in. I know I put in about an hour, and I think I'm by far the most on this one, and that is The Altars, which has incredible reviews.
People I've heard really great things about it.
Yeah. Really unique setting, of course, the sci-fi setting where you are stranded and you have a limited amount of time before things go real bad. And so in order to level up enough to save yourself, you end up having to use the technology on your space station to clone yourself. And then use different versions of yourself that have different backgrounds, essentially different skill sets, to do things on your space station and explore and keep opening up new areas. But it also has a lot of survival automation elements to it as well, where you're finding like nodes of resources and setting up these things that will harvest them, but you have to power them as well. So you have to run power lines, almost like any other kind of like automation game. So it's got a lot of detail to it. And it's the people who did This War of Mine game. It's the same team.
I put many hours into.
Yeah. Yeah. So really interesting idea. And from what I played, really interesting execution as well. Really intriguing setting. So yeah, the altars is another one that it's easy to get overshadowed by all the other like gold level games. That this is a really strong, probably silver level game for a lot of people. That's worth a look.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one is really really good. So is this one, which I haven't played, but I know both of you did at least a little bit. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. Didn't you both play some of
I
this
haven't, no, but I would like
Yeah.
to.
I
Oh,
put
okay.
another 15 hours into this game this week. After
Yeah, you did.
I played this game a lot, and this game crept up. This game bumped something recently and got on my list. And boy, I like this game a lot. This is my cutesy,
This is
palate
your Hello
cleansing game
Kitty.
right now. It's my Hello Kitty adventure. Yeah, yeah, and it's like that. It is. It is Animal Crossing. Like you are dealing with a city and setting it up and moving in neighbors and giving them themed houses, and you can terraform your area and plant trees, and
Hell
you
yeah.
can do all of that. Like it is Animal Crossing. It is just also cooking, and it's also doing art and making portraits and hanging those up in your art museum that you build, and it's fighting giant bosses, and it's everything. Like this game is crazy how much is going on in it. I was shocked at how many layers there were to this game and how much it was going on. And I really like the time travel stuff where it's like there's three kind of like time like eras, if you will, and you're doing three completely different things in all three eras. So it's just it's so cool. It's very cool. I know, Dan, that you were saying that the big issue was that it wasn't like turn based, because I know you and your wife would have wanted to play it together. That is a
Couch
major
co-op.
bummer to me. Couch co-op, I mean, yeah, excuse me.
Yeah.
That is a major bummer to me, because this game I played on the DS. I did play this game mostly on with a buddy, but like you could play
Okay.
right next to each other, linked up or whatever, and that is how you play this game. So it's just shocking to me that you can't have like a couch co-op type of situation. But it is really good. Yeah, it is a very good game, and it is very in line with those types of games. Like Hello Kitty Island Adventure or Animal Crossing, or even it's kind of got shades of Rune Factory, as well, with some of the farming and RPG mechanics and stuff like that. So shocked how good this game is. And like, yeah, the 9, I get why it's ranked so high. The story is nonsense, but whatever, it's not really about that. So
Yeah.
Well, you just reminded me of one, Kyle, that we don't have to show a video of all these, but just to mention a few that I know are kind of floating around there as games that all of us have, at least one of us has played a little bit. You've got Rune Factory, which you mentioned. I know you played it more than I did. I played it for a little while though, a few hours of that one. The new Rune Factory is a really solid game. It's got a lot to it as well if you give it a chance. And you've got games like Avowed, which I did give it a little bit of time a couple weeks ago, and I was like, this is pretty fun. I like it. Is it amazing? I don't know if it's there, but maybe it would be if I gave it more time. I know you guys put more hours into it than I did, but
I definitely like that game, but that's another Xbox game where I'm just like, boy, if this released on the PS5, I wonder if I would be 40 hours into it or something like that. I do really like this game. It is very much my speed, but I only played about eight hours of it or so.
Well, speaking of stuff that's your speed, Kyle, I think Dynasty Warriors Origins also came out this year. That was also a 2025 release.
Extremely hard video game.
Yeah, you said it has like difficulty spikes that are really off-putting, basically.
Yeah. Very good game though, and there is something very magical about like when you set up all of like your formations, and then like your whole army moves in at the same time, and like it's not a cutscene, it's just kind of like a cinematic thing where like the camera will kind of spin around and hit all of, like the points of interest, and you'll see this like sea of people running towards another sea of people, and I'm just like, yeah, technically this is really cool and special. It is like almost one of those swimming in 7 games though, where it rated a little higher than I thought it would. So it's I think at like 81 or something like that on Open Critic. So but I don't think it ends up on my list at the end of the year. But boy, it's definitely the best Dynasty Warriors has been in a long time. So
yeah. Well, one that I don't know if it'll make my final 10 because I didn't play it enough, but boy, is it excellent. That is the first Berserker Kazan. It's a really great game.
Yeah,
you played this,
I'm
didn't you,
surprised
Dan?
this is not higher.
Or just a demo?
No, I had just played the demo, but I really
Oh,
liked
okay,
it.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
love the
think this one is
visuals of it. It
also
looks
it's
sharp.
same with like the new Rune Factory and Avowed. It's floating right around the 80 average for most reviewers. For me, it's like because I played, I think I've finished 2 of the bosses. I got a pretty decent way into it, but I think it was an Assassin's Creed Shadows situation that creeped up and kind of took over my life, if I
yeah,
remember correctly on the timing. But anyway, I liked it a lot. I was really impressed by the visuals, and the gameplay was fun. Like if you like stuff like Sekiro, especially, like it takes a lot of, at least in terms of like the blocking and the parrying, like the what it wants you to
Yeah,
do
and it's just a
with
bit
those
faster.
systems.
It's not
It
as
is
the
faster.
speed
Yeah,
of it is faster than like a traditional Souls. You know.
correct. Yes, but it's got a really cool. I mean, I guess it's based on a manga I'm not familiar with, but I guess it's got
oh, I guess
so it's got
I didn't know that either.
a deep set of lore as well. So anyway, all that to say, this is one that is worth people's attention, especially if you like Souls games and if you're a big fan of anime style storytelling and art style. The art style is incredible in this game. It's really, really good. So yeah, first Berserker Kazan, definitely worth considering as well. Speaking of Assassin's Creed Shadows, this one is currently on my top 10. I don't know where it's going to land. I'd be surprised if it's not on there at all cuz I spent so much time with it and loved it so much. It does have flaws. It is not like a perfect game. There's, rarely is there an Assassin's Creed that doesn't have a few missteps, and this definitely
Yeah,
has some of those, but man, as you can see here too, like it's just absolutely beautiful. Gameplay is great, really interesting characters. You can make an argument about because of the open world setting, the pacing can feel a little weird at times, but that really depends on you, the player, like how you decide
Yeah,
to tackle things. But the game doesn't force you down a main storyline route, so it can feel a little disjointed. But I knew that, and it didn't bother me at all. I just know some people have talked about that.
yeah.
Um,
I'd be
yeah,
but
shocked if this falls off my list. I would be shocked.
me
Even,
too.
even I, though I haven't beaten it yet, like it's just I have put like 40 hours into it. So yeah, that I did.
Yeah,
It was it's a very good game, and I do intend to beat it. So
yeah, yeah. Both of the styles are so satisfying. Successfully sneaking through and like just assassinating everyone with Naue is awesome. But then also running through a giant doorway and then using a huge club or whatever to just bash people
do
like
that.
that. I mean, come on. It's so good. It's so fun. So yeah, I love this game. And the story I think is solid. The characters are what are to me are the winners when it comes to storytelling. I think the characters are really good, well written and
yeah.
interesting. So
I did get very giddy with because it's not always that I'm playing a Assassin's Creed game that I know a lot about the history of what's going on in those areas. Sometimes I do,
yeah.
but this one I knew a lot, and like so there was a lot of like, oh no, like oh I know this battle, I know how this ends. It's like there is a lot
Yep.
of like cool stuff that like got me giddy just from a historical factor.
Yep. Totally. A couple others to highlight here that I love celebrating the good stuff from this year. And this is one I highly recommend to folks, especially if you're looking for more to play
The
on your
yo-yo
Nintendo Switch
game.
2. Yeah, Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. It's on multiple platforms. You can play it anywhere. But if you have a Switch 2 and you're looking for more kind of fun games to play on the go, this is a great one in handheld mode on the Switch. Very creative use of exploring and combat with this yo-yo. And yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting little game. It's very funny too, like some clever writing. But yeah, Pipistrello. It has like an 89 on Metacritic. Like people love it, you know. So it's
Yeah,
another game that I didn't know existed until it was already out, and then I saw reviews for it. I was like, "What? What is Pipistrello?" So yeah, it's really good. I like that one,
cute.
and I recommend it. Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. And then
Hey, be right
also
back, real quick.
Yeah,
no problem. And then also don't forget about Blueprints, this weird mansion escape room game that came out this year that tells a really unique story while you're exploring this mansion and trying to make your way through this. Um, I guess it's procedurally generated, but you are kind of generating it based on your decisions you make as you go through. You're deciding what room goes where. And the idea is to get to the final room. I think it's room 46. And, you're going to have plenty of runs where you don't make a lot of progress, but maybe you learn a lot about the lore. You found a new item, you opened a new treasure chest, or moved a bookcase, or got the code for a safe you didn't have before. So there's lots of ways to eventually work your way to unlock the clues and the mysteries of what's actually happening and what is in room 46. So Blueprints, just a critical darling, of course. People are loving it. But yeah, worth a look as you're looking at best games of this year. I have one last one for me personally, and that is going to come as a shock to nobody who listens to our show regularly, and that has got to be Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Oh yeah.
Which I just can't believe that I put like 112 hours into this game, and that was in 2025. This feels like a game I played last year, just because so much has happened since.
Yeah.
That was mostly February, a little bit into March that I was playing this game. But I got absolutely obsessed with it, super hooked on it. I thought it was amazing. We've talked about it at length about the unique combat system, the amazing work that went into all the dialogue. I think it has more dialogue than any game in history. I think it's got that claim to fame, where it's got more pages of actual character dialogue.
Huge script.
Yeah, massive script. But yeah, lots of stuff. As you can see here, even in the trailer, you can do everything from sneaking around and pickpocketing to alchemy to all kinds of different crafting capabilities. Lots of different ways to make money, to explore, to make friends or ruin friendships. Lots of choices to make. And it all feels impactful. And it's all really well written and really well acted. And there's moments where it's like, yeah, maybe that character or that moment wasn't the best looking video game thing I've ever seen, but it's all very high quality. It's up there. There are certain scenes that will make you go, holy cow, that looks gorgeous. So it's got a little bit of all of it. So I really adore this game. I think it's incredible. I will absolutely do another playthrough at some point. They don't have New Game Plus, and it's for good reason. It's very story based. And they also want you to, like, part of it is, as Henry, you are truly working your way up from literally nothing. You've lost everything. You've been injured, which is why they kind of explain how you lost your skills, and you have to rebuild that too, because you get injured at the opening. And then you have to work your way up from being covered with dirt and crap and like humiliated.
Basically naked.
Yeah. So they do a really good job of all of that and weaving the story together. It's very epic, and it feels like almost like an HBO show story, because it's not like clear cut, black and white, good versus evil kind of a thing. It's got a lot of grays because there's historical elements to it as well. A lot of historical pieces and characters and from Eastern European history as well. So yeah, I love it. To me, it's right now it's floating right up there alongside Clear Obscure and Split Fiction and a few of these others we've mentioned, Assassin's Creed and Doom and South of Midnight and Mario Kart. These are all kind of like, where do I put these? Because they're all so fun. So
yeah,
all of those are up there for me personally. So yeah, that's the last major one that I've got to highlight. So tell you what we're going to do, folks. We are actually going to end episode 280 here. We're going to be back with episode 281. We're going to go over some recent news headlines. Won't be all super recent because we got to change our recording schedules for our vacation and travel plans that we all have coming up. But we'll go over some news headlines. We'll also preview the rest of 2025 in the next episode. So we'll see you on the next one. And thanks for tuning in. Bye.